We're here tonight to celebrate the 30-year anniversary of the first state championship football team here at Thomas County Central. It was a year that was full of surprises, and as I go through, I want to just touch on some of the things that really stood out for me. But let me go back to the season a little bit, because it was a topsy-turvy season to start with. You know, we opened up the season playing some really good football teams. Back then, our region was called the mini SEC because everybody in that region was really good. So, but we opened up with two non-region teams. We opened up with Colquitt County, and they've always been a powerhouse. And we lose by a point or so. I forget what it is. We lose to Cairo by 1 point. We lose to Daughtery by a touchdown. We regrouped, and that Monday we had a real short practice going in. We had an off week, not an off week, but we were playing a Saturday game, so we had an extra day to practice. So on Monday, I'm sitting there on Monday morning trying to figure out, what we got to do to turn this thing around. And so the first thing I'd come up with was, we're going to have just a fun practice. Worry about nothing, no schemes, no nothing. Just go out there and play and have fun. And so I get with the cheerleaders, or got with the cheerleader sponsor, and asked them if they would get the lunchroom ladies, and they did, and they cooked hot dogs for us. And so we went out and had about a 30-40 minute practice, and then we ate hot dogs. And that was one big thing that I think changed everything around. We just put everybody, it relaxed their emotions and everything else, and just made us concentrate on what we needed to do. So we go into the game we're playing. I remember we were playing Albany, and back then, like I said, Albany was really good. We were down 14-0 in the first quarter, but we rallied, we came back, and we won the game, and then we went on and beat Chris County, and we beat everybody in our sub-region at that time. Worth County, we beat them convincingly. But to make a long story short, we end up winning 5 games in a row. So that put us in the playoffs for a region playoff. Back then, you had a region playoff before you went to the state playoffs. So we opened up in the region playoff, and we were the number 1 seed on our side. So we played Daughtery, which they were loaded, and they had beaten us during the regular season 14-6. But we prepared for them, and we had a great night. We scored 40-something points. We had over 500 yards offense, and we won the ball game convincingly. And we went to a second game, so we played, I think it was Appleton County, we went up to Thompson and played Thompson. We win big up there. We come home, beat Appleton. We won the ball game pretty convincingly, and that gave us a chance to play Stevens County in the semifinals. We were playing Peach County. Yeah, Peach County, and now they were loaded. Had a really good football team. But we just came out and played well, won the ball game, and that was our first state championship win right there. Our kids were just going nuts. I was going nuts. Coaches were. It was just a remarkable season that we went through. I can remember in the locker room when we were talking to them, and I do remember telling them this to the kids, that this game and this season is going to reflect on what's going to happen to you for the rest of your lives, because you're not going to face any more adversity than what you did this year with this schedule. And there's going to be times when you are grown up and got a job and got a family, and there's going to be some tough times where you're going to have to daggone rely on this season, what it took for you to get through this season on a winning note, to get you through those tough times. You know, and so we concentrated on that for a few minutes, and then we went to get to celebrating. But the one thing that I do remember was those kids sold themselves out after those first losses, and it was a sight to see those kids celebrate after that win, that last win, and being at home. See, a lot of folks don't realize this. We played five state championship games at the house, and you know, that don't happen very often. But that first one was a treat. It really was, and everybody, you know, everybody asked me, which state championship meant the most to you? And I tell you know, my original answer is, and which I really mean, that's like asking me who's my favorite child. I can't. Every one of them are special. I said, but the one, you know, we got one that's really special in our hearts from where we started this season to where we ended up, and the celebration that we had afterwards, you know, was just unforgettable. So, you know, it was a treat to have the opportunity to coach those kids, and our coaches did a tremendous job that year. When we're 1-4, and we're getting ready to play on Saturday night, and then they, from that point on, our coaches just jumped in and really inspired those kids to be as tough and as mentally tough and physically tough as they could for the rest of the year. They just did a superior job coaching on the field from that point on. Not that they weren't before then, because we were. They were playing pretty good football. But once we got over the hump, we started that roll right there. You know, it's a whole lot easier to come to practice when you win it. So that just rolled on right there, and it just made a fairy tale season come to an end right there with that big win over Pilcher County, and they were undefeated going into that ball game. So, yeah, it was a season that I don't know if I'll ever forget. I mean, it really was. I can still remember, you know, days of practice leading up to it and everything. But it was a great year for the Yellow Jackets, and a great year for those kids. And I'm just blessed to have the opportunity to be associated with those kids and those coaches, because they all did their job to perfection when they had to do it. A season that's unforgettable.